Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. Presents Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, a show that shines a light on spiritual growth, health, purpose, and financial education. It's time to emerge and begin to live out your dreams, walk into your destiny, while making a difference in the lives of many.
Welcome to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am your host, and it's always an honor to come to you every Thursday. Happy Thursday, but welcome to the new month of September. Just in case you are not aware, I'm going to kind of give you some information today because I hope you guys understand that every single year, September is dedicated to life insurance awareness. September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Each year, September is dedicated to helping people understand the importance of life insurance. So every Thursday in September, you're going to have myself, but you're going to have my mentor and my leader in this industry, Mr. Tony Chambly, who is the CEO and the founder of Core Financial Partners, where our goal is your crusade, so we are so excited. Again, this show is being sponsored to you by Lambert Legacy Financial, powered by Core Financial Partners. Our goal is to teach the truth about money, engaging individuals and families to think about and plan their legacy. Our focus areas are our family, fun, and our future legacy. This show will introduce you to leaders, experts, and motivators who share their journeys and their stories through personal and professional growth, knowledgeable tips, and lessons learned that will empower you to grow. It is time, y'all. It is time to grow your mind, your brand, your business, and truly your finance. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a fun, full Thursday. I say that because this in next few Thursday, you have the honor to hear from such an amazing man. And I look up to this man so dearly because he's my mentor. For me to get into the insurance industry was because of him, because of what he stands for and what he believes in. And to be able to join hands with Core Financial Partners, it's just truly amazing. I want to see our friends and our family have that Rockefeller money. And one of the biggest ways to do that is actually through infinite banking concept. So we're going to talk about this session, our first session into into September. We're going to talk about 5 pathways to secure your children's future wealth. But before I bring Mr. Chambly on, I want to kind of give you some statistics so we can kind of gauge to why it is important for you to really, really, really think about not only the future of yourself, but the future of your children and how their wealth can be made through this thing called insurance, right? So did you know that 1 in 3 households would have immediate trouble paying life expenses if they don't really have that income that's coming in? We realize that it's a challenge for so many people. But also, the life insurance industry is a big industry. Life insurance, pays out $1.6 billion every year. Pays out. Then you have to also remember that 75 million American families rely on life insurance as well. This industry is a trillion-dollar industry. So life insurance investment alone in the U.S. economy is over $5 trillion. So this is an industry that you need to know about, right? So even when you're going your job, 80% of full-time workers are offered and they actually enroll you into a life insurance policy. Life insurers generated approximately 2.5 million jobs here in the United States alone. These are statistics that can be found on the web, online. And I truly believe that Mr. Chambly with Core Financial Partners and Lambert Legacy Financial Partners, we're here to serve you and give you the information that's needed. So I'm going to decrease and I'm going to welcome my mentor, the CEO and visionary of Core Financial Partners, Mr. Tony Chambly. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you, Mellisa, for inviting me. I really appreciate it. Taking another day for us to share some valuable information I know that you and your family are leveraging and gleaming from, and now we're just in position to share this to every single family across the country. So I'm excited to be able to share some of the things that has been a difference maker in our household.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Chambly. And for those who don't know much about Core Financial Partners, I want us to kind of first, before we dive into the 5 pathways to secure your child's future wealth, I want to dive into the Core Financial Partners mission, which is to guide people from survival to security to success to significance, right? I want us to really kind of just share why those S's are so important in the mission of Core Financial Partners.
Absolutely. The S are stair-stepping all the way to significance. The first S is survival. And survival is just living paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of us can relate to that, that's been there or possibly there now. And what our goal is and our mission is to get you to the next level, which would be security. And security would be being able to put away and have liquid, not illiquid, liquid meaning available, accessible cash up to 6 months of your expenses or income, right? So that's what security means, building it up, building it, saving it. And then the next step would be taking you to security. Success. Success would be actually in a position to say, okay, I've taken and saved money up to 6 months of my income and beyond. You never stop. And now you can buy income-producing assets. You allow that money to now go to work for you. You give that money legs. You give it an assignment to be able to go out, make money for you, and bring back more profits and continue to keep that cycle going, and to the point that now significance comes into play for you and your family. And as significant as this is leaving behind the blueprint, giving those that you care about the information that you were blessed with, and leaving a legacy. And remember what legacy stands for. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for others live on forever. So we're here to help everybody to get to that level of significance.
Wow. And that's one of the power that I love about Core, is that we are really going to guide people through the S factor of just getting themselves to significance. And I love our actual philosophy. More money doesn't get or keep you out of financial situation. Only financial education does. Why does Core stand on this specific philosophy?
Well, it's a personal reason. You know, I come up at a time where I accompanied quite a few of my colleagues about 20 years ago, where we all, especially in that day, 20 years ago, 6 figures was quite a bit of money. And we all started making 6 figures, then multiple 6 figures. Some became 7-figure earners. However, though, as fast as all of us received the money was as fast as we lost the money. Because if you don't have the understanding of true education versus indoctrination, you're going to fall into the trap of your money being separated from your money forever, right? The one thing I know about financial education is that versus indoctrination. Indoctrinations train us what to do with money, not teach us about money. Train us is giving you a direction and an assignment. Bring your money to us. Put your money in a qualified plan. Buy and hold. That's being trained. But when you understand the truth about money, you know what's really going on and you know what to do. And now it's like playing chess. You know the game and you know how to win. And that's how we look at it. We look at it, financial education brings you the truth about the game and about money, and you'll be able to make moves that are put you and your family and your business in a better situation.
Wow, wow, wow. I love when you fully explain who CORE is because I want our listeners to really understand who is and what we do and how our heart is to serve and to help and to educate and to equip and to get you to a place of significance in your life. So, Mr. Chambly, we're talking about the 5 pathways to secure your child's future wealth. When we say securing our child's future wealth, what do you mean by us doing that, securing? Because I mean, because of you, I was able to secure my daughter Chelsea's financial wealth through opening up 2 banks for her. So, can you elaborate on just when you say to secure your child's future wealth?
Sure. One thing I learned from my mentors from years ago is that success leaves clues. And one of the things when I studied about wealth, right, I learned that most wealthy people, and I'm talking about they have left inheritance of wealth, most of them, like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilt, not the Vanderbilts, but many others, they've left behind a special design whole life policy for their loved ones. And so what we've done is we've studied that. We've studied how did they do it? How did they leave such an inheritance and guarantee the future wealth for their kids? And that's what the topic is today. We're going to go through step by step why, and we're going to talk a little bit about how. And it's life-changing when we understand it, and we're not looking at it for a necessary evil to have death benefit inside of an insurance contract. It's all about the cash accumulation that could be built inside of a properly designed policy.
Wow. And I'm glad that we're having this conversation because I truly believe that our inheritance from our is our children. Being a mom, a single mom of one, I want to be sure that I secure Chelsea's future. And I love how today we're talking about that. I love how for the rest of the month we're talking about securing not just your child, but your entire family's financial future. So let's dive right in. So talk to us about the first path to securing your child's future wealth.
For sure. The first path is really creating and building up a cash value that is aside by living benefits as well. When you have a properly designed whole life policy that's structured for cash accumulation, it actually builds more living benefits in it than a traditional life insurance contract or policy. And when you're done this properly, you can do things and walk your kids through life, through the rest of their life, even into retirement, and having more than enough resources to take care of needs, wants, and desires, such as going to college, the tuitions and expenses that comes along with that. It'll be paid for. It's already ready, or at least can supplement what they could be getting from financial aid or whatever it might be. Maybe even before they get to college, maybe it's your kids that are very active in sports, or they taking piano lessons, things that it takes capital to take care of. You can be leveraging these type of contracts to take care of these need, wants, and desire. It can also be for their first vehicle. They turn 16. You need cash or capital to take care of their first vehicle. Then guess what? You can leverage these type of benefits and this cash that is sitting in these type of policies. How about when they're getting married and there's a wedding that needs to be paid for, especially fathers that have their daughters? You want to be in a position and show your love to be able to pay for your daughter's wedding. You'll be able to do that. You're putting yourself in a position to be able to do that when you're setting these up at a very early age. The earlier, the better it's going to be. How about a down payment on their first home? Can you imagine a down payment on their first home, possibly your first home? We don't know where you are today, right? You might be a young adult still trying to get your first home underway. And then you can turn around and help your child get their first home with the same dollars being recycled back into the family, having their own banking system. And then how about starting a business? Everybody is not built to go to college. However, if they are, they could be used for college, but it also can be used for starting a business. I believe that's the new era of our kids coming up now, to give them the option to have a position of business startup. And here you can do that. You can start a business. You can start them being an investor, and the funds will be there. If we're doing this early on in their life, and we allow it to mature and grow over the years. And the last one I want to mention, there's many, many others though. The last one I want to mention is also them being able to collateralize for any need, wants, or desire as they go through life for everything that's needed, right? We all want to go on vacation, celebrate holidays, celebrate anniversaries, and things of that nature, graduations and things of that nature. All that is going to be able to be funded through a properly designed whole life policy being built for cash accumulation.
Wow. I mean, again, you are tuned into Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. It's always an honor every Thursday, starting this Thursday, because it is September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. We have the CEO and the founder, visionary of Core Financial Partners, Mr. Tony Chambly, and we're talking about the 5 pathways to secure your child's future wealth. And just knowing that we can really start with the first process of cash value and living benefit. I mean, we are supposed to be planning for their future, right? So to know that we can have an account that will help us, Mr. Chambly, with anything, college tuition, different expenses, life challenges may come up, and, you know, things that need to be purchased, a car, a house, and just to know we can be able to have cash value and a living benefit throughout this whole life policy, where we can withdraw and borrow for to help our children through these life journey. I think that is truly an amazing way to start the pathway to secure our children's future. So when you think about the second path that we're leading our children to help them with their financial future, what does that look like?
Yeah, to secure their financial future, that second pathway is always be in a position to be insured. There's a terminology called insurability that's in the industry of the insurance industry. And insurability just means that you are well enough health-wise, right, to be able to take on the risk for you to have life insurance. Because depending on what's going on now or what could be going on in the future, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity could be a reason why a kid wouldn't be able to get coverage or when they get older. Mental health issues come about. That's really out there in a bigger way than ever before. Even kids are getting cancer as they get older, maybe, or as a young adult, they can end up having cancer. Any kind of health complications could void out someone being able to have the ability to have insurance later on, and you just don't want to take that risk, knowing that we don't know what the future holds, right? And but we know who holds the future. So because of that, we have to make sure we can do our part, whatever we have control of, which we can do something now. You want to make sure, if you're on the sound of my voice and you don't have proper coverage for your child, get it now while there's insurability is there for them to get coverage, right, because you know of no health issues with them, or it's maybe a health issue that's not severe at this point in time. Take advantage of that because once they get this policy, it never can be reversed, ever can be reversed. It can always be in place for them for all these things that we can do with a policy such as this in the future for that child and for their family as well, because insuring them now also takes care of the next generation as well, because they're going to be adults that's probably going to have a family, have their own home, things of that nature. You're securing the generations in the future as well.
I love that. And you're right, because over time, things change. You know, I look at Chelsea now. Chelsea is not what she looked like when she was 3 years ago, not even 2 years ago, right? As they grow, especially knowing that these food that we're eating is, these kids are consuming them, and that's where all these dis-ease coming into play, diabetes or high blood pressure, and all these things. So I like how you mentioned to really securing them now and not wait till later. Oh, I'll do it later. No. I like the idea of making sure you can get them insured now, so the possibility of getting them in and locked into a policy now is better than having them to wait and not able to get them the coverage, the full coverage. They will get coverage, but may not be the same because of their health challenges. So, Mr. Chambly, I love the way we're going with this, because I truly believe as parents, we need to wake up. We need to understand that the brighter we can help these kids to have a future, the better it will be for them. I would love at 43, my age, for Chelsea to know that she doesn't have to toil like mommy, because mommy set her up for the future.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying, Mr. Chambly?
Yes.
Like when I saw what you did with our illustration, when I saw Chelsea's illustration, just to know by the age of Chelsea, by the age of 43, how much Chelsea has just in one of her policies. One of her policy alone, over $106,000. $106,000 cash value that she holds. And when I saw that, I said, I want that for my baby. Who wouldn't want that for their own child? Even when I think about her policy at, let me just see, even just thinking about her policy death benefit at that age, that's $371,000 just on one of her banks. So I am so loving what CORE is doing for the community, and how we first educate, then we actually show you what it looks like to have your own bank. Then we show you how to use your bank. So we're talking about the 5 pathways to secure your child's future wealth. We already discussed the first pathway, which was cash value and living benefit. Having the cash value earned from a permanent life policy, which we're going to show you how to utilize this policy to borrow from, to withdraw from, to really kind of live that out in your daily life. If they need to go to college, pay for tuition through their bank. If they need to finance a vehicle, they will finance it through their bank. Their infinite banking, which we're going to show them. They want to put a down payment on their first home, they can do that as well. And then, Mr. Chambly, you talked about the pathway number 2. You said they will always be insured. So we got to get them insured and insure them now. So when the time rises, when they have the high blood pressure, the diabetes, obesity, at least they're already covered on the insurance. So what would be the third pathway to secure our child's future today?
Sure. The third pathway is similar to pathway 2. The third one is guaranteed future insurability option. The other one is to have this future insurability period. But the option is this. It's called the GIR, which stands for Guaranteed Insurability Rider, that's put on these policies. We add it to every child under, that's still a young adult or in the adolescent years. It allows for you to be able to automatically opt in to get a certain amount of added on insurance every few years, because most people could be in a position that they can't get the full amount that they would like to get for affordability comes into play, right? However, though, you can rest assured that every 3 or 4 years an option is going to come in the mail or be sent to you to say you can add another $25,000 to $50,000 or more onto your child's policy, and the premiums you'll see is their very minimum to be able to do that. And you can do that every 3 or 4 years. So you might have started off with, let's say, $50,000 of death benefit, but by the time that child turns 40 years old, they have $500,000, because you're able to add on every 3 or 4 years another few thousand, 25 to 50 or so $1,000, and it adds up. And before you know it, this person, this adult now, probably could have incurred one of the things that makes them uninsurable. However, though, because the parents stored enough to get it while they were young before, diabetes hit in or high blood pressure hit in, not saying that they would automatically be declined, but cancer, anything can set in to a severe point that they can be declined. Well, if you have the guarantee insurability rider available to you, you take it because it's not going to affect or have any decision to be made when it comes to their health. It's guaranteed to them to be able to increase it all the way. Normally, companies go up to 40 years old. So we love that. So once again, we're guaranteeing that child future wealth and also guarantee to that child's children future wealth. Because remember, at that point, this child might be 30 years old with his or her own kids. Guess what? This is now going to take care of them going into the next generation. So we're taking care, I believe, through doing this, the next 2 to 3 generations, Mellisa, it's not just that child we're looking forward to taking care of future wealth. It's that your grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of yours as well.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I love it. I so love that. And I love how you extended it to the great-grandchildren. So you're not just only I'm not looking at just Chelsea. I'm looking at Chelsea's children. Those are my grandchildren. And how it can also expand to her children's children. So I love the guarantee future insurability option that is placed on this for us. Again, you are tuned into Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am your host, and it's always an honor and a pleasure to have this amazing gentleman on the line with us. This show is being sponsored by Lambert Legacy Financial, where we are dedicated to bring forth financial awareness to the community through infinite banking concept, and we are powered by core financial partners. And we do have the CEO and the visionary here talking about 5 pathways to secure your child's future wealth. We are in the month of September, y'all, and this month is Life Insurance Awareness Month, and we want to make you aware of what's going on. We want you to be aware that this is a $1 trillion industry. Like, seriously. And this is an industry that we depend on. Many people depend on living through with life insurance. And I know for a fact, Mr. Chambly, we have such great learning tools with core financial partners that give us the access to be able to educate first. Just like our philosophy say, more money doesn't get or keep you out of financial situation. Only financial education does. And I love, Mr. Chambly, when you do come onto the show, what you do is educate. You empower us. You give us hope to understand what money looks like in our hands and the truth behind it. So thank you, sir, for your dedication to core financial partner, to the community, but also coming on the show to share the knowledge to my audience as well. Thank you, Mr. Chambly, for that.
Well, sure. You're welcome.
And I just love that we're digging deeper into, we already talked about pathway 1, pathway 2, and you just finished with our pathway 3, which is guarantee future insurability option. What would be the 4th pathways to secure your child's future wealth today?
The 4th pathway would be is the future family protection being locked in at a particular rate for that child, right? You want to know and have to know the younger, the more affordable it is, the younger the child is, to the degree that in our community and with our affiliation with the infinite banking concept, we're taught to get every child that client we're working with or our own children, when they're born, it's legal to be able to get life insurance on them at 15 days old. Any time later than that child hitting 1 year old is not sooner than later. So we have clients that children not even born yet, Mellisa. They're giving us the go-ahead when that child turns 15 days old while the mother's pregnant to go ahead and set up the application. As long as everything goes well, and it does, in most cases, God willing, we get them set up. And why? It's that it's least expensive amount at that time, but yet you get the max value of it. The earlier, the better. And you lock in that rate in for the rest of their life. The rest of their life. So if you look at a 1-year-old or infant that's not even one yet, how much $25, $50, $100,000 of death benefit will cost for them versus somebody 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, you will be floored. So age matters. You look at an infant to a 1-year-old versus someone 30 years old, you will be floored, the difference in the cost. So the earlier you start, the better. If you have kids under 10, do it today. Kids between 10 and 20, do it today. Every day is costing us more for the cost of the same death benefit by waiting an extra day. Get with the person that you are affiliated with that's in this industry that understands how to design them this way so that you and your family don't lose another diamond in another day. Here's another thing I want to share with this. This part really floored me and got me excited. But, I have 5 kids and 3 grandkids, and best believe they all are covered. Here's the deal, though. It doesn't stop there. Think about what you're doing, Mellisa. When you got Chelsea set up, you immediately called me later that day when we went over you and Chelsea's policy, and you said, Tony, can her father own one as well? He absolutely can. Here's what Nelson Nash, who is the discoverer of all of this, did. Not only did the parents own policies on all of their kids, him as the grandfather, he owned policy on all his grandkids and his kids. So every child born in a family, 2 or 3 people own policies on that one child to build up the future cash value for them, right? And also secure the wealth for the grandkids in the future as well. And they layer it out. All grandparents own policies on grandchildren, and all parents own policies on their children as well. And then when their kids have policy, the parents own on their grandkids. So the first layer is great-grandparents now, and they keep going it. They keep doing it. And that's where future wealth is not just for your present kids right now. It's for generations to come. Read about the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. This is the way they did it. We're teaching this now where true legacy is being created while living. And we're excited about that. So I commend you, Mellisa, for you setting yourself up and thinking enough to set up Chelsea, but turning around and talking to her father about doing the same thing. Now she has 2 policies, 2 different parents paying for policies on one child. Chelsea set up. Not saying that's going to be the last one. I'm sure your parents probably going to want to put it on her too, based off of what kind of parents I know you have when they understand. Yeah. So this is, I believe, a principle and a concept that every family should put in place to leave true legacy for generations to come.
My. Oh, my goodness. Every time I hear you talk about just legacy for children and just thinking about the moment when I had that chance to see Chelsea's bank put together, and I was just floored just to look and see how this bank, just for my baby, how it will grow. I mean, I get excited every time because I know for a fact that I'm doing the right thing. When I look at Chelsea's age, 13 years old, at their 13 years old, age old, having $2,130 as a saving, and that's double because she has one bank with me, one bank with her father. So she already would have in her first year over $4,000, and she can borrow 90% of that money anytime she wants. when I go down to when she's 22 years old, this child with the two banks, again, we're going to open multiple banks for Chelsea, but right now she has the two. She will have over $40,000 with both banks combined that she can borrow at any time she wants, with a total of $400,000 in death benefit at 22 years old. And I mean, when I go down to when she's 32 years old, she's already having $100,000 combined in cash value, where she still can borrow 90% of that money and over almost $1 million, well, actually $500,000 in death insurance at the age of 32. I mean, and that's just on two banks. One that I own, one that her daddy owned. And I'm definitely open some more over time. And I say this proudly. I am thankful that I know better now because I can do better, Mr. Chambly. I can do better. You know,
Absolutely.
So I truly, truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing me how to prepare the way, showing me how to really allow my child's future to be secured so she can create the Rockefeller money under her own name and to be able to bill out that financial security that she never thought she could have, but because her mother knew better, because her mother was woke about this information called infinite banking concept, learning control of her money, then I was able to pass that wealth on to my daughter. So we talked, Mr. Chambly, we're talking about the 5 pathways to secure your child's future wealth today. The first pathway you mentioned was cash value and living benefits. The cash value earned from a permanent life policy, like a whole life policy, which a core financial partner will structure and help you. I myself will help you. Mr. Chambly is my mentor, so he's going to help you. And whatever core partner that shares this with you, they too can also help you put together this policy. This same policy that we're going to secure for your child can help with their college tuition, their expenses, their financing a vehicle, their weddings, their down payment on their house. The list goes on, right? The second pathway Mr. Chambly spoke about is making sure that they always be insured. There are, one of the things that we want to make sure is now insure them. Not later, but now. The longer you wait to insure your children, the more it's going to be. The more pricey it's going to be down the long road, right? So insure them now, because later on it's going to be more pricey for them. Then Mr. Chambly talked about pathway 3, guarantee future insurability option, which is some life insurance policy for children come with an optional guarantee insurability rider, which we actually will put on for them, right, to give them that guarantee secure on that insurance. And then the fourth one, Mr. Chambly, if we can dive into, you talked about what will be the fourth path to securing your the wealth for our children.
It will be guaranteeing a rate that doesn't change no matter what, forever, as long as they are living. The rate doesn't change. Their cash value changes and grow every single day, every single year, and so do the death benefit, but the rate stays the same.
The rate stay. Okay, so future family protection that locks in the rates, which is, okay, perfect. So we talked about that, locking in that rate no matter what. The life insurance premium for minors can be very affordable, y'all. It can be very affordable. So buy it now when they're younger, because as we talked about later on, it will be more. So as we wrap up to the pathway number 5, what is the pathway number 5 to lock in and secure our children's future wealth, Mr. Chambly?
Let me go back before the 4, not 4, but go back to a concept. It just came, a vision just crossed my mind. I want to share with everybody, if you don't mind, Mellisa.
Yes, please.
Think about what we talk about our mission. Our mission is take someone from survival to security to success to significance. Do you know when we really think about it, Mellisa, you can go from survival all the way to significance by setting this up with your kids. You already created the legacy. You can be making minimum income, or you could be behind on responsibility, trying to get out of debt, so you're not at security yet. You're still at survival, and you say, I'm going to sow into my daughter or my son $100 a month, and they can get these results that you just went over about Chelsea. Isn't that amazing? That floors me that you can do that. I mean, it doesn't even take for you to be doing financially well to go and lock in the commitment for the future wealth of your kids. It just crossed my mind. It just came to me. We're jumping from step one of survival all the way to significance by just a stroke of a pen and a commitment of a few dollars a week. You add that up, that's like $2 or $3, a day for your kid.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Because if I think about what I give for mine is only $2.50 a day for Chelsea.
Yep.
$2.50 a day to know that my daughter she has some form of protection. And even with myself, when I think about what I invest in myself mine is only $5 a day. So to cover mine for me and Chelsea, it's only $7.50. Mr. Chambly, we can't even buy a full meal with $7.50 in this economy.
Isn't that amazing?
But I can protect me and my daughter future every single month, knowing that I have a bank to protect us. That to me is power. And when I hear people, it bothers me when people say, well, I got to think about it. What do you got to think about? Your money's moving away from you every single day. What are we thinking about? You have no control of your money every single day. What are we thinking about? It's just because we have been indoctrinated to think and believe that this is the norm, that somebody else can control our money for us. We can get our check written in our name and then hand it over to an institution that tells us when to use it, how much can we use, how much can we borrow, how much can we spend on a daily basis. Make that make sense, everybody. That is the reason why Core Financial Partners and Lambert Legacy Financial Partners exist. We need to awaken your consciousness to let you know that it's not okay to not have control. It's not okay to not spend $7.50 to cover you and your child. I'm just one. I only got one. So if you have multiple, it's not going to be the same as mine, right? And I'm just talking about the minimum I'm using right now. You can look at what's in your account and what you can afford to invest on your future for your children. So, Mr. Chambly, as we dig deeper into because I get excited when I talk about this. I get excited, Mr. Chambly, because I'm woke. I am so alert, and I will shout from the mountaintop. You need an infinite banking. You need a bank. You need an infinite banking concept. You need your own private bank. You need it, and you need it when? Now. There's no let me wait until I get money. Oh, I don't have that right now, but you have it because you place it into a traditional bank, regardless of the matter. You still have the money. You're just transitioning the money from a place that it's going to be controlled by them. You're transitioning it over to a place that you control it. Am I making sense, Mr. Chambly, on that?
Absolutely.
I get excited about stuff like this.
Absolutely. You make all the sense in the world. And I know it's penetrating for someone that's listening under the sound of our voice right now. And we just want you to move to action, though. Don't allow the moment to pass you by not making plans and making a call and getting things set up. We do not know what tomorrow, what tomorrow brings. No one does, right? And that's what pathway number 5 is all about. No one is promised tomorrow, right? This is all about something that's going to be likely nothing more devastating that can happen in your life, which is losing a child, right? It's happening all over on probably reoccurrence basis that we are not familiar with, right? And no one ever wants to go through this. But if, God forbid, something like that occurred, you want to be in position that you're not forced to go back to work. You want to be in position that you're not forced to still worry about, concern yourself, how you're going to pay your bills, because you can't go back to work. You're still grieving. You don't want to be in position where you can't get away if you choose to get away. When you have proper protection in place and you have done something that could be devastating, such as losing a child while they're a child, or even as an adult, you want to have options. You want to be able to have time to grieve. You want to be able to take care of your other kids and not have them suffer along with the grieving that you all are going through. Sadly, this does happen with families, and it's probably the elephant in the room. No one wants to mention this and talk about this. There's nothing better to be able to throw money at a situation and keep it at bay so you and your family could continue to go on and do what's needed to be done to get back to normal, if ever, but at least to have a chance to grieve and not be forced to go do things that you know your insides are not ready to do it yet. Your spirit is not ready yet. And sadly say it's a serious situation, but this does help in grieving. It does help in coping with a situation such as, right? You'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. That's what pathway number 5 is. We've had, I know colleagues and friends and family that have lost children, and it's just not easy. And here we want everybody to have the time and space to go through it the best way possible. And when you have this set up, it helps you. It definitely becomes a lending hand that you don't have to worry about how things are going to be taken care of to get through the process.
Wow. Thank you again, Mr. Chamblee. I love that we're going to be in the face of people this remaining month to really dig deeper and to make sure we all understand the importance of life insurance, the importance of protecting your children. And today we started off the month by talking about the 5 pathways to secure your child's future wealth, and not tomorrow, but today. Okay, we're going to secure that today. So the first pathway Mr. Chamblee mentioned was cash value and living benefits. The cash value earned from a permanent life policy, like a whole life policy, that you can actually withdraw, borrow against, providing living benefits that you can actually use to buy whatever you need for your children or to afford whatever you need for your children. College tuition, expenses, financing a vehicle, paying for their first wedding, or, down payment of their first home, starting a business, whatever that is. That pathway number 1, cash value and living benefits, can allow you to do that. Pathway number 2, securing your child's future wealth, Mr. Chamblee talked about, is always be insured. Make sure they're insured now. Don't wait till later. The younger they're insured, the sooner they're insured, the better it is for them. Then the third path Mr. Chamblee mentioned was guarantee future insurability option. That way they're insured. That's a guarantee. So we do put what we call a rider that's on that policy to keep that child insured. The fourth one Mr. Chamblee discussed was future family protection at locked-in rates. Whatever the age of that child, you're locking that rate in. It's a lower rate, for the child. So as soon as we get them on, you're locking the rate in for that child. And the last pathway, which is the 5th pathway Mr. Chamblee just finished discussing, is the time and resources to grieve. The time is now. No other time better to actually do life insurance but today. Today is the time. There is likely nothing more devastating than losing a child or a loved one. And we want to be sure that you are protected and protected now. So, Mr. Chamblee, tell us a little bit about how can we kind of learn more about Core Financial Partners, I know that we have learnmorewithcore.com to watch our videos. So give us some tools to actually go to, and I definitely want them to follow back up with us so we can show them how to start their own bank as well.
Absolutely. You just mentioned the first one I will go to is learnmorewithcore.com, and you have a video series there. We're up to about 15, 16 videos that are very short videos, to go through how the entire process works and why to do it, how to do it, all the ins and outs to infinite banking concept is right there. Also, go to corefinancialpartners.com, and we have some new videos up there that there's a rotating video series that about 4 or 5 videos that goes over these concept also, just on 3 to 4 minutes, but they kind of are niche, different ways of using it, niche markets or different niche industry to use it. Like, for instance, if you want to look at the video that talks about college planning and funding, that video is on that homepage. Also, if you want to look at the one we just went over about why children should be covered, I believe some of us and some parents or some people, even professionals, would tell you you don't need insurance for your kids, and that's not true. Everybody's going to become an adult. Why not get it started now and have cash growing it now as well? So there's a video on there about this very subject right here. There's also a video on there about retirement. You want to see what's best for your retirement? That's a video on there. There's a video on there, Mellisa, about qualified plans, about retirement, the retirement traps, things of that nature. So we try to cover every subject because Mr. Nelson Nash coined this infinite banking for a reason. It's unlimited amount of resources and ways of using this that can come out of this particular concept. Infinite banking concept is what it's named and called, and that's what it does. So go to that as well. Here's a couple more real quick. There's core-strategy.com. Core-strategy.com is going to give you a 12-minute video on how to use your debt, right, and leverage you paying off all your debt versus using your money and gone forever. It's an incredible way to take debt and pay it off in a fraction of the time that it normally takes you to pay for it. We literally did a person recently that had well over $100,000 of debt, not involved in a mortgage at all, and was able to take what he was going to take 26 years and three months to pay off. We was able to get it all paid off, and in about 4 years. The same debt that was going to take him 26 years. And how about in 26 years, his wealth potential was close to $1 million because we recaptured that money he was going to pay all those years and paid it back to his own banking system. So 26 years, he would have been debt-free with no real cash accumulation. Do it the core debt strategy way, he ends up with $1 million in 26 years versus just getting out of debt. And we've seen people homeless the same way, where it takes 25 to 30 years to pay off their home. In Mellisa, it takes 8 to 10 years when we put them through our system. Same money being recaptured and building wealth at the same time. We had somebody was going to take over 25 years to pay the mortgage off. It was 8 years and 7 months. And then they was going to have well over $1 million at time of getting rid of their mortgage. Watch that video. He was going to share with you exactly how that works. And I believe that's it, Mellisa. Just know that your children needs this to be done based off of what's going to come in the future. We don't want to use monies that is gone forever. Position yourself with the infinite banking concept using whole life allows you to now recapture that money. The same money that you're taking care of your kids with, go to college or whatever it might be, is recaptured, and now you have it for retirement. So many people, Mellisa, struggle with the idea of using their resources to take care of college and start all over again, or at least dip into half of their funds for retirement, and then now they have an option to make, and they got to work a little longer past the age that they desire to work to make up for their loss in paying for college. You don't have to worry about that here. When we set you up with this, it's going to take care of all the needs of your kids having life starter money, whether it's college, businesses, or whatever it might be, and your retirement is still going to be taken care of in place and intact.
Wow.
So please do your research, do your due diligence, and you'll see that this is an amazing way of living and being able to leverage your money versus using it.
Wow. Mr. Chamblee, thank you so much, sir. Oh, my gosh. I love when you come on and share. Again, you guys are tuned in to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. It's an honor to have Mr. Tony Chamblee, the CEO and visionary of Core Financial Partners, with us. And you can definitely tune in with us every Thursday. The next few Thursdays, Mr. Chamblee will be here. We're going to talk to you about life insurance. This is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So get ready, get prepared to learn more, because we want to help you create your own bank. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Mellisa S. Lambert. That's Mellisa S. Lambert. Also, don't forget to go to Coach Mellisa, Coach Mellisa.com, to book a time for me to go over and help you get your bank started. So we are wrapping up, and we're so thankful that you tuned in today. Don't forget, we are live here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to share this episode with someone. Let them know that they, too, can protect their family and protect their children, and do it now. So until next time, take care, take charge, and continue to be great. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, where Mellisa speaks with leaders, experts, and motivators who share their journeys and their stories through personal and professional growth, knowledgeable tips, and lessons learned that will empower you to grow. Follow Mellisa and Women Emerge Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mellisa Lambert and at Women Emerge Network. And visit www.womenemergenetwork.com. Remember, when you know better, you can do better, especially when God is for you.